Now we're going to talk about the map function. Now, the map function is a high order function. That is, a function that takes a function as an argument or returns a function as an output. That's a higher order function, meaning that instead of the input being maybe a string, a number, or a boolean, it is a function, or the output is a function. Now the map function, it takes a function. This is the way it usually looks like. It takes in a function and then the iterables. Then it returns a map object, which is an iterator. So now let's first ignore this function of square and this function of subtract. Let's come down here. We have two iterables. We have the iterable numbers and then we have the iterable indices. So then here we want to use the map function. Now this power function POW is a system function, and this system function usually takes two arguments. Now since it takes two arguments to power them, of course, since it takes two arguments, we need two sets of iterables. So we need the number and then the indices, two sets of iterables. So we need to pass in numbers and then indices. So the result will be maybe 1 to power 2, which is 1, 2 to power 1, which is 2 to power 1 is 2, like that. So if we run 4 to power 0.5, I think is also 2. So if we run it, you can see that we can get 1, 2, 2, and then 6 to power 2, which is 36. Now, what if we had a function which let's call it square, which takes only one argument, x? So in this case here, we would come here and then put in our square function. That will be our square function. And then instead of putting in two iterables, since it's taking one argument, we need only one set of iterables. So we delete that, and then when you run, you can see that it's squared this iterable called numbers, squared all of them. Now if also we have subtract, which takes in two arguments, x and y, which means that we need two sets of iterables. So if I do that, you can, and then I can put here subtract as my function, and then it's taking two sets of iterables, which is numbers and indices. So it's going to subtract 1 from 2, 2 from 1, so we should see something like -1, we should see 1, then here we should see 3.5, then here we should see 4. So if we run, you can see that we have -1, 1, 3.5, then 4. So that's how you use the map function. And the map function, it's an higher order function. And what is a higher order function? It's a function which takes in an argument, which is a function, and then maybe returns, the output can also be a function. That's what you call a higher order function.